Hollywood kicks off its march toward the Oscars with the 73rd annual Golden Globe Awards tonight. Stars of the big screen, the small screen, and the really, really small screen will gather in just a few hours at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Who were the favorites? Keith Simanton is in Los Angeles to help us break this down. He's the senior film editor with IMDb. Nice to see you today, Keith.
Good morning. How you doing?
So here's the thing. Let's just launch right into what you're the expert at, these films. When we're looking at the drama category, there's some that fit in with what we expect best movie nominees to be: Carol and Room. Mad Max: Fury Road?
Well, you know, this is a year where it's a really odd year. Everyone has talked about from the guilds to the Critics Awards. It's a different set of nominees or winners every time. So it's a unique year, and everyone's recognized that. And one of the things that ends up happening in unique years is you have Mad Max: Fury Road, which has done inordinately well and has won a number of Guild Awards and will likely be a Best Picture contender at the Oscars, is a best drama.
It's just crazy because in the trailers and all of that, you're watching it and it looks like an action movie. You don't often see, right? So you don't often expect to see an action movie in contention with very dramatic films.
Carol and Spotlight. IMDb, we're the world's largest movie database, biggest movie database. And so we look at a lot of these different factors. Really, I think, and then, we've gone to these things for a while and you get a sort of a sense. My guess is that when the dust settles, that it's going to be Spotlight for Best Drama. It's an incredibly good film. It's the Tom McCarthy movie about the scandal in the Catholic Church in Boston and the newspaper that found out about it. And I think that ends up kind of eventually becoming the best drama. But you're right. You've got Carol and Mad Max compete, and Room and Spotlight in the same category, and The Revenant.
Right.
They're very different films.
Okay, tell me, in the role of best film comedy or musical, The Martian. How does that fit in?
Yeah. Well, again, it's one of those things. This is probably the biggest controversy this year for the Globes, which is remarkable. The Globes have really cleaned up their act. For many years, they were kind of suspect, and it's a small body that votes for them. But they've really cleaned up their act, and this is the big controversy this year, which is that The Martian is being billed as a comedy. It's not a comedy. It's a sci-fi action adventure, and it's a darn good one. But it's not a comedy. It's like Star Wars. The droids in Star Wars: A New Hope, R2-D2 and C-3PO, they were funny. There's comedic elements.
Right.
It's not a comedy. The Martian's got very funny moments, and it's a very good film. It deserves to be nominated, but as a comedy, that's the big controversy this year.
Leonardo DiCaprio is up for Best Actor. Now, he's never won an Oscar before. How important is what happens at the Golden Globes for what happens when the Oscars roll around?
I'm not sure that it is, and it's interesting this year with the Globes. I think this is DiCaprio's year for Best Actor, because of everything he's done before, and it's a weaker. Actually, it's oddly. Although Best Actress is just incredibly competitive, both Best Supporting categories are very, very competitive. Best Actors, oddly weaker. You've got great roles like Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs was it was a commercial, it wasn't a success.
Right.
And they factor those things in. Now, The Revenant just opened very well. You watch this movie and watch what Leonardo DiCaprio does. There's a scene where he he moves back into this freezing cold river, and you know that it's freezing cold river, and he goes, down, waist deep, and he doesn't change his visage at all. That's Best Actor material right there. Not to go, whoa, hey, it's a little cold in this river. No, all joking aside, though, it's a great film. It's actually my favorite film of the year. It's a bruising film, The Revenant. and DiCaprio and Tom Hardy are excellent in it.
All right, Keith, I know that your expertise is film, but I'm assuming you, like most Americans now, eat up television. Are you a binge watcher? What are you expecting from the the Golden Globes and television?
You know, it's a fascinating category. I think one of the things that's really cool about the Globes, and they've done this for a number of years, is they've discovered shows that need to be watched. And you could go back to Breaking Bad, but for example, last year, Transparent was up for Best Comedy and Best Actor, and Jeffrey Tambor wins for Transparent. I think they're going to pick out things like, my guess is Narcos this year for drama, which is extremely popular. And I think they're going to do things, but these are, not your typical, that's streaming on Amazon Prime or on Netflix. These new methods of binge watching, essentially. I think they're going to give Best Comedic Actor to Gael Garcia Bernal for In the Jungle, which is a really lovely show. And, Gael Garcia Bernal's been so good for so long, it's really the first time they've been able to nominate him. I think they're going to give it to him. It's not a Lifetime Achievement Award, but it's yay, we get to vote for him, yay. And it's the Hollywood Foreign Press. That's my guess.
Well, the best part of watching the Globes, of course, is being on Twitter and live tweeting it with, another few million of your best friends. Keith, thank you so much for giving us a little preview.
Thank you so much, Contessa. Nice to talk to you.